So spreading fingers and thumbs far apart, digging the fingers into the mat a little bit. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips. So here's one of the mobilising exercises for the shoulders. It's our shoulder rolls that we normally do standing, which we did today, but not specifically just the shoulder. So try and keep your arms straight. Take your shoulders forwards towards your ears, let your rib cage drop down so the shoulders go up, squeeze them back towards your hips, keep them squeezing back and pulling back as you lift your rib cage up again. It's like your arm is a piston. If you imagine a steam train, the wheel of a steam train, your shoulder, this side of your shoulder is that circular, it's what's making the circle, but with a straight arm. It's not from the arms bending. So this is me bending my arms. My shoulders pretty much stay where they are. Arms stay straight. You're rolling the shoulder around that straight line, and the rib cage sort of drops down and up as you do that. Let's change direction. Making sure you stay forwards. Keep your weight over your hands. Don't be back here. Which way are we going? Forwards. Feeling that rib cage dropping as well. And then just see if you can try one arm at a time. So I'm going to do my left arm because it's closest to you. And I'm just keeping the other arm where it is. It's quite hard actually. But I've just released any pressure. I'm totally focusing on my left shoulder in both directions. Really quite hard work when you're only on that one shoulder. I'm trying to go forwards, but it's quite difficult. Good, and then I'm going to swap to the other side. So this arm is staying where it is, but you'll see now it won't hardly be moving, hopefully. It's going to move a little bit because the rib cage is shifting up and down. So backwards is quite an easy movement because we do that all the time. And then forwards not so much. So you can regulate the amount of pressure you're putting through the shoulder by keeping your weight back a little bit if you need to. So if I back off of it, if I take my hips all the way back towards my heels, I can still move the shoulder around, but I'm not putting so much stress through it. Ideally, you want to be over that hand, but that might be too much. Good job. Okay, just stretching backwards and forwards. Where does the time go? Let's have a little sit back here. Okay, so let's take some from your all fours square box position again. I want you to really think about your shoulders and across your shoulders being like a just being very, very square. Imagine you've got a pole. It's coming out of this shoulder and out of that shoulder. So it's a really straight line. So it's not going to be a curved line. It's a really straight line going from one side literally to the other. From your all fours position, just watch me a moment. I want you to take the salute. So you're going to release one hand and bring this fingertips to the temple at the side of the head. So I'm continuing this straight line with my elbow basically. From here, I'm trying to, and it's difficult, from this position, all fours position, to that position, I'm trying not to change the shape of my body at all. It's absolutely square. Tissue box is all facing the floor. From here, I'm going to open up, only opening up this straight line from one shoulder to the other. It doesn't go very far. It's quite frustrating. Coming back to the square position, and then I'm going to allow that line to drop down and collapse. So it's like this angle, if I face you there, yeah, is the one to look at. So this should be a right angle. I'm opening it up from here. So this is the straight line from the elbow to that shoulder, coming back to your right angle, and then letting it drop down. It doesn't go very far, but it's strong work on this supporting shoulder. And you might have noticed, as I was facing you more, that I was leaning. Try not to lean at all. So let's try that on its own. Let's just try 2 or 3 on the same side before we change sides. So one arm is in the salute. So we're lifting that elbow up, trying to look past that elbow, but you might not have enough flexibility, movement available to you, so that's absolutely fine. Come back to square and then let that whole straight line, that pole, drop down. Let's lift up again. Just keep your breathing nice and even. Square. Keep the weight even on those legs. You're going to want to lean away to counterbalance the fact that you're on 3 limbs and you're not very even. Last one, drop down and come back to square. I'm going to face you this way, stay where you are, so other arm. So check your position from here, good square box. Take the arm away, nothing has changed. Lifting up. Coming back to square. Let that shoulder draw in. Close up this angle on that supporting armpit, if you like. Square. Lifting up. Breathe. If this is your tighter side, it is for me, as far as rotation goes, very easy to hold the breath. Try not to. Coming back to square. Lifting up. And there, one more. And back to square. Place that hand down. Just sort of check your position at the end. Good job. Okay, great. Let's come down onto all fours. Sorry, not all fours. We're already on all fours. Elbows and knees. That sort of all fours. So we're going to take some leg extension, some butt work. We didn't really do any much standing today. So from your all fours position, elbows are underneath your shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips, your spine is in its natural curves. I'm going to release the leg that's closest to you. I'm going to draw it in without changing the shape of my back. I can get the knee here, I can't take it any further. If I take it any further, my back will round, especially my lower back will change shape. So from an even position, draw that knee in and then push the heel back out behind you. Really nice straight leg, push through the sole of that foot. Draw the knee in, maybe pointing the foot, and push and straighten out behind you. Draw the knee in, push and straighten. Draw the knee in. All the while, I'm keeping my shoulders drawn down in my back. I'm keeping my neck long. I'm trying not to lean too much onto this side because I've taken that leg away. There's more focus on that elbow, that side shoulder. I'm just allowing my foot to relax in order to draw that knee in. I can see in the mirror that the shape of my lower back isn't changing at all. Making my head, making my nose itch. There. You might be starting to feel some work, hopefully you will, in those glutes, maybe equally in the supporting side. So the other leg, the one that's not moving, is keeping your pelvis really stable. And actually I didn't ask you to, but maybe drop your head down now, just have a little look, check that those hips are on the same level, your hips at the front. Let's hold that leg out the back. Let's keep the foot flexed. Let's lower the leg to touch the toes to the floor. Lifting the leg. Lowering and lifting. Again, no change in that lower back. So that this isn't happening. I'm keeping everything drawn in. I'm only taking the leg up as far as I can, activating my buttocks every time I lift that leg. There's a bit of shaking starting to go on. So some strong strength work today. Firing up those buttocks. So my knee, my right knee, the one I'm kneeling on, is in the middle of my mat. I'm going to add on to this movement. I'm going to straighten, I'm going to point that foot, keeping the leg straight. I'm going to drop my head down so I can see. I'm crossing the leg over to the far corner of my mat, and then I'm lifting it up into a semicircle and bringing it out to the other corner. So I'm drawing a nice semicircle. Again, your goal is to keep the hips still. The height of my semicircle is in the middle when my foot is opposite my spine, if you like. That's the highest point. Try and make it a semicircle as opposed to a triangle. So this is me doing a straight line up, straight line down. That's harder. I think, yeah, I prefer the semicircle. And now this is much harder on my stabilising side, on my knee that's in the mat. I'm not feeling this one so much in my buttocks. Whew. Okay, draw that knee in, stretch your arms out forwards, maybe toes together, knees nice and wide, take those hips back on the heels. Let's just have a little sway from side to side. And a breathe. Maybe come onto your elbows, just roll hips from side to side as well. Let's bring that stabilising leg forwards. Actually, just bring it to here, sit on it. So I'm sitting on my right hip and buttock, still facing the end of my mat. I'm just going to take that other leg out behind me and I'm going to reach forwards and over. This is slightly different to the one I normally do. So if you can be here, if you want to increase this stretch, bring this foot forwards a little bit and then try and take your hips, we'll just roll a little bit from side to side, over that shin. Over that knee. You could maybe get the other leg out behind you more, so this is a bit more like how I normally do it. I've got my weight on my elbows now just to release that good old stretch in the hip. You might just be here, this might be enough for you, and just leaning forwards. Try not to be all the way over on this hip because that just defeats the object. You need your hips to be quite square. And if you can, lifting and lowering, just as always mobilising through it. Brilliant. Okay, we are all on the other leg. Oh, I'm going to turn around actually because I've got my mirror here and so I can see what's going on in my lower back. It's quite difficult to know whether you're moving or not with this one. So square box but on your elbows and your knees. Releasing that knee, draw the leg in, check that nothing changes, extend the leg and flex the foot. Not too high with that leg, just parallel to the floor. Draw it in and extend. Draw in, extend. I'm trying to think about keeping my neck long. Just let your head drop down, no tension in that back of the neck. Trying to push through the sole of my foot. Drop your head down, check the hips. This one will want to lift up, this leg might want to turn out. Keep it really parallel if you can. Shoulder blades nice and flat against the rib cage wall at the back. Abs in tight. Starting to feel about the same level of discomfort muscle work as the other side. I'll do a couple more. And last one, staying with that leg straight and the foot flexed, dropping it down to touch the floor, lifting it up, but just activating that buttock. No change in the pelvis. I'm hanging on. I'm connecting my rib cage to the front, rib cage to hips, closing them down. Ooh, yes, starting to really feel that now. Shoulder blades still drawing down, neck is long, head is relaxed. And really getting a lot of shaking now, so I'm going to point that foot. I can't quite see my, well, the end of my mat isn't in the same position, but I know that I can cross that over only so far and then open out roughly the same amount. If you're finding you're really leaning over on that supporting hip side, then you're probably taking the leg a bit too wide. Ooh, third rhyme. Starting to feel quite grippy in my hip flexors as well on that supporting side. Three more. 2 and 1. Well done. Coming on to that leg. So if I face you this way. So I've unusually for me got this whole hip down on the floor. So you could just pitch forwards. That's a stretch in itself. You could try and take that leg behind you. You're going to have to get over this way a little bit more. Leg behind you all the way. You could be down with your head down onto your hands, rolling in and out of this, over that shin. Relax and breathe. Maybe if you're not feeling it much, bring that foot forwards. Brilliant. Okay, well done. Lovely. Let's go on to our abdominal section. So we are lying on our backs with our legs out straight today. Back this way a little bit. So hands are at the back of the head. So thinking about having the feet flexed as if you're standing up with nice straight legs and the feet are hip width apart. The soles of the feet really flat. Hands interlace at the back of the head, elbows forwards. We're just going to take some abdominal curls in this position. So remember the arms, the elbows are lifting. You're hinging from here. There is no change. There's no pushing up, no tummy pops, no change in that lower back. I've still got my quite big gap beneath my lower back. Head is heavy, the head is a base. Note the arms are a baseball glove, your head is a bowling ball. All the bees. When I lower, I don't lower and go, oh yeah, that's great, I really did a good job there. Yeah, I need you to stay switched on all the way through. Clear the tips of your shoulder blades by 1 centimetre, my fingertip, that's all. Try not to let this change. Lifting and lowering. Keeping the head heavy, the head is relaxed. No strain on the neck whatsoever. I'm drawing those shoulder blades down in my back. It's important, it's even important in this position. You wouldn't think it, but it makes so much difference. So I'm going to add on a knee fold to this abdominal curl. As I bring that knee fold in, I'm pointing my foot, I'm stopping the knee directly above the hip, 90 degrees, and then I'm lowering, flexing the foot and swapping sides. So we're alternating. Breath out, breath in if you want to take the breathing. Breath out, breath in. Being really accurate with the legs. So when the leg I'm leaving on the floor, I'm pushing that into the mat a little bit. Making sure my pelvis stays stable, whoopsie, pointed foot, and flexing. So another 4 of these. I've got one more set of abdominals of this variety. That's 2 sets. Halfway through. I've only got one more set, don't forget. 1 set is both sides, that's the thing. This is the last one. And we're there. Good job. We're adding on. I'm going to bring this leg up again so that you can see. We're adding on an oblique twist. So you're coming up into that knee fold and abdominal curl. You're extending the leg on a diagonal. You're rotating, holding that diagonal. This shoulder blade is still off of the mat. I'm going to flex that foot. Imagine it touches the top of my toe on the other foot. Point it back up. Bend the knee in as I try and reach this opposite elbow up higher. Hand lower. Here we go on the other side. Knee fold, leg extend, rotate and hold. Flex and lower, point and lift. Bend the knee in, try and get a little bit more height and lower. Another 6 of those. I'm talking alternating sides, so not 12. We're here. We're extending and rotating, but now hold. Now flex and point and come in more and lower. 5 more. Here we go. Knee fold, extend, rotate, but hold. Clear that shoulder blade, stay off. Pointing, draw in more. 4 more, come on, you're nearly there. There, extend, rotate, flex and lower. Point and lift, come in more. 3 more. Rotate, sorry, that was a really rubbish rotation. Drawing in and come into that knee. Last 2, make them really good. Come on, only 2. Here we go. Knee fold. Extend and rotate. Hold it. Check that shoulder blade. It should be off. Lower, lift, bend in more. Last one. Here we go. Knee fold. Extend. Rotate. Hold. Clear that shoulder blade. Keep it clear all the way. Lift and point. Draw in more and, oh, that was a tough one. Stretch those legs away, stretch the arms away and breathe. Take the legs from side to side if that suits you. Okay, setting yourselves up. Gosh, where does the time go? Okay, we have got kneeling side leg raises. Okay, I'm going to go this way first of all. So, I'm going to put my kneeling knee, the one I'm going to be supported on, in the middle of my mat. I'm going to extend the other leg away. This foot is in line with this knee, and then this hand goes out to here, and this hand is in line with this knee as well. So you've got that straight line, and I'm just sort of lining up with the side of my mat. I'm going to really push this hip forwards and then bring my fingertips to my temples and my elbow up to the ceiling. Everything is sideways on, and the movement is just to lift and lower this side leg. And it's quite strong. This is sort of a, classical mat Pilates exercise. Strong work in the hips, glutes, upper body balance. And when we've done this work, we're going to take a lovely stretchy, flowy side bend as we go. Can we hold that arm up to the ceiling? So you've got a straight line from that top hand down through your shoulders to that underneath hand. Keep that leg up as high as possible. Top of your foot and your knee facing forwards. 5 golf ball circles in each direction. Ooh, keeping that leg up. 5 in the other way. Lifting up out that underneath side. And ooh. Just going to adjust clothing before I do the other side. Okay, here we go. So knee, hand, foot all in line. This hip will want to be back here. Try and push it all the way forwards. Get your, I'm going to just move across a little bit so I can see myself. Get this, make sure this shoulder is over this hand, not where I am now. You're here, so you've got this lovely straight line. Fingertips to temples, elbow forwards and up to the ceiling, or maybe the hand at the back of your head is a bit more comfortable for me. This side, and then I'm lifting and lowering. Keeping rib cage connected. No turn out, because you don't want this hip to move. So if you turn out and your foot's facing the ceiling, top of your foot's facing the ceiling, it's probably because you've moved that hip. Drive forwards on that. Oh, this is strong work. Drive forwards on this hip. Try and get that stretch at the front of the hip. Lifting. Not collapsing in on this underneath shoulder either. Shoulders drawn down in my back. Brilliant. Taking that straight arm up to the ceiling, holding it here. Golf ball size circles, not very big ones, that means. 5 in each direction. Ooh. And we're nearly there. And, relax again. Brilliant. Let's take just a quick sweep from side to side, which is a nice flowy, stretchy movement. So you're going to have your knees in the middle, knees together. You're going to brush the hand along the floor, stretch it past, and then up towards the ceiling. You're going to lift this leg up, come back to swap to the other side. Brush the hand along the floor. You're looking underneath this arm. So you're there and there. Relax the head. So completely different to the last one. Don't think about too much the position you're in, just get the stretch. So this hand is stretching that way, the foot stretching in the opposite direction. I'm trying to lift my rib cage, this side of my ribs, all the way up to the ceiling. Couple more. Stretch away and relax in the middle. Last one, and that should feel quite nice. Brilliant. Okay, we are going to do that arm movement that we did standing in the warm-up. Apart from this bit, obviously, because you're not going to be able to do that because you're lying down on your tummy. So just very quickly reminding you, backs of the hands, past your face, up, turn the palms forwards, open out into a capital E. Once we've done that a few times, that sequence, we're going to try and lift the capital E off of or lift the arms from the shoulder blades off of the floor, and then take it into some upper back extension with some dart. So, legs are hip width apart, connect your rib cage to your hips, lift the hips up, lift the legs out of the hip socket. Push that pubic bone into the mat a little bit. Tip of your nose is hovering. Shoulders are just relaxed forwards. So legs can be slightly turned out or parallel, I don't mind. So hands, wipe your hands, the backs of your hands up the side seam of your top. Come past your ears, extend forwards. At this point, my little fingers are on the floor, my thumbs are up to the ceiling. I've lifted into a little bit of a back extension. My bottom 3 or 4 ribs are still on the floor. Turn your palms down, hover the hands round to the capital E. In fact, let's go from here, hold it here. So I'm in a quarter cobra, bottom 3 or 4 ribs on the floor. Can you lift hands and elbows at the same height, at the same time, so they'll come up to meet your shoulders, be level with your shoulders, and then lower. And again, 3 of these. And again, I'm holding my back still. 1 more, last one, lower down, bring those arms back by your side, and go again. Let's do 2 more sets. Backs of the hands, lengthen forwards. Even here, slide the shoulder blades down. So I've got my arms forwards, I'm lifting my back, but I've initiated that lift in my back by sliding the shoulder blades down in my back. Turn your palms down, hover the arms round, elbows down, touching the floor if you can. Make sure your arms are in a capital E. This is quite strong. If this is too much back lift for you, lower down a little bit more. But if you can, stay in that back extension. Lift and lower. Move your arms from the backs of your shoulders, nowhere else. 3 times. Bring them in. Straighten the arms, lower, collapse. 1 more. Here we go. Head is down, wipe the hands up the back. When you extend your arms forwards, little fingers are down. Take a small back extension. Set those shoulder blades down. Turn your palms to face the floor. Bring your arms round into that capital E position. Stay here with your back, wherever it is. Keep it still. Lift and lower. Check that your hands and your elbows return to the floor at exactly the same time. Not your hands first, then your elbows. Draw those elbows in. Let's reach those. Palms are down. Now I've got my arms into a low V at my side. Palms are down. Lifted my back a little bit more. I've really turned my legs out now and I'm circling again. Golf ball size circles at the fingertips. About 8 in each direction. Staying up with that back. Building that stamina, that endurance to hold that back in the correct position, and then having a little collapse. Fantastic work, well done. Come up onto all fours. Let's take some spine circles. Any variation of this that you feel that you would like to do. So I've taken, these are vertical spine circles, I'm taking horizontal spine circles. I'm going to curl my toes under, I'm going to lift my hips, push my chest back, through, rise up onto the balls of my feet, lifting those heels up as high as I can, pushing the heels down. Again, trying to push the chest back through my arms, flattening out that back, taking my hips one side and then the other side. Hold it maybe, it's a really strong stretch at the back of that leg. Swap to the other side. Worked hard today. I'm going to take some bear walks just because I love them. It might not be your thing. Opposite hand to foot. Reach and stretch and then bring it through. Reach and stretch and bring it through. Making my mat push back. When you're travelling backwards, lead with the foot first. Try and make it count. Try it with legs bent, arms bent. take the weight more over your shoulders, so you could be a little bit here and a bit lower. So for me, this isn't as stretchy, this is just stronger. I'm going to twiddle round this way. I'm going to just finish off class today, feet really wide and just rocking from side to side. Fourth rhyme of the class. Knees are over your toes, toes are going out to the corners. My weight's through my hands, and I feel strong enough today to just release that a little bit. I'm going to hold it over to one side and stretching through, flexing and pointing that foot. This absolutely might not be for you, that's totally fine. Just find something else to wiggle about. We've really warmed that body up today, you've worked really hard. Well done everyone.